got properties and stuff he works on a lot. So, but yeah.
So I kind of reached out. We mentioned Brian Walker, Walkipedia, the stat machine. I reached out and I kind of said, so where were we at yesterday as far as kind of the cutoff line for qualifiers after heat races, and then obviously top 16 of the A main? Yesterday, it was about 70 was the cutoff line to make a qualifier, and then 183 was about the cutoff to make an A main. Now, obviously, Tuesday, the numbers fluctuate differently with the car counts. So he just tweeted the averages when it comes to passing points for Tuesday to make a qualifier is now 72.5 or so, and then to hit the inversion, 92.3. So that'd be 32nd on up. So, and then obviously to make an A main, when you add the heat race points, it'll be about 180 for the top 16, and then to land a front row, 224. So keep those numbers in mind.
Yep.
About an average for Tuesday. Now, granted, it could shape up differently depending on what happens here in the heat races, but we'll keep an eye on those as we go along.
All right, heat race number 1 with the yellow lights in and around. Again, Warren Cat qualifying night here on the big show, and glad to have you along with us on FloRacing. Lynch and Cool, Moore and Brewer, Pope and Newman, Gregory and Allen, and Jonathan Beeson. Talked a little bit, Cody Brewer's 96, the promoter, Red Dirt Raceway, if I remember what Brian said. He's got the micro-sized tires on the back of that, so he's on 10-inch wheels and rubber. We'll watch and see if that plays an effect versus the 13-inch wheels and tires that the other drivers have. I mean, practically, Logan, you haven't spent a ton of time in a micro, more so recently than ever, but can you imagine what the feel difference is going to be between those two sizes?
Yeah, definitely. The tire size is unbelievable, but he actually ran fairly well. He had speed last year. I don't remember what happened, but he actually did have some pretty good speed last year. I remember he was, we were into the pool, like I said, so we were watching him pretty closely. But, yeah, I imagine it's a pretty big difference with a big car with tiny wheels, but it looks like we're about to go green.
All right, off the front row, it is Lynch leading them down. Cool on the outside, a little slow on the pickup. Lynch will lead him into 1 as the green lights come on around the raceway. The field sorts themselves out for this first heat race. Jake Newman making a move to the bottom. Past Cool as Cool continues to go backwards. Your leader on lap 1 is Lynch, followed by Moore. Pope 3rd, Brewer 4, Newman 5. You're watching 3rd, 4th, and 5th in front of you, as Newman trying to get to the bottom on Brewer here in this first heat race.
Yeah, keeping an eye on Jonathan Beeson as we got one slowed up just a little bit, the 2T of Tanner Allen, but Beeson had a struggling first 2 laps. Finally got something going here, moved up inside of the 7th, now 6th position.
Yeah, I expected Beeson to go a little quicker there off the start, but he didn't pass a single car in the first lap, and now trying to get by Jake Newman here for 6th, it looks like, or for 5th.
Newman could be a bit of a plug-up for him because he's a quality driver and a quality car ahead of him. Newman trying to shuffle Pope backwards, and Beeson going to have to be ready to follow him through because we're down to just 3 laps to go and time rapidly running out for Jonathan Beeson to do something big.
Yeah, he opened up his entry in turn 1 and 2. Now it's going to go top shelf in 3 and 4 on a really, really chalky top side, and finally gets underneath Pope for that 5th spot, but gonna run out of time. White flag is out for your leader Lynch, who off of corner number 4 through this time is gonna see the checkered flag. So your first heat race winner, Brayton Lynch, out of the RMS camp, is gonna get it done from the pole, finishing 2nd, Howard Moore, then Cody Brewer, Jake Newman in 4th, and Jonathan Beeson rounds out the top 5. So Beeson from the back to manage is just a 5th.
9-5 is worth the old Dolly Parton score, 92 points. So that's right.
That's on the bubble at the end.
Yeah, that's right on the bubble.
You're scraping there. He's going to have a monster qualifier coming up.
Yep.
6-4 for Newman's an 89-pointer. So, I mean, a guy that had some expectations coming in is likely into a C main right now.
That's a good confidence booster for Brayton Lynch, though. Last year just seemed like had all sorts of bad luck, had a long Saturday. I think he was very early, obviously earliest of the RMS cars to run last year, and just trying to get a lot of seat time, and certainly he's got a lot of confidence as we go up to the top of the ramp. And our first interview for heat races is with Scotty Cook.
Hey, thank you very much, guys. Kicking night number 2, qualifying night off Springfield, Illinois. Brayton Lynch getting his helmet off here. Did just what you set out to do, young man. Here you are after a big heat win from P1.
Yeah, the car was really good, and I usually struggle down here, and I'm always nervous and stuff, so I just wanted to get that win out of the way so I can continue on with my day.
You guys spent a little extended time at the top of the ramp upon the completion of your hot lap. What was that all about here?
We had the idle set a little too high, and it wouldn't really hurt me start on the pole, but later on in the night, being behind people, I couldn't slow down enough on when we're just idling. So just wanted to slow her down, and that way we can take off good.
Great job, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys. How's my little buddy down there in the Easy Bake Oven out of Sutter, California doing?
Logan, I guess you can answer that one.
Yeah, we're good down here, Scotty. How's everything at the top of the ramp? Because, hopefully I didn't see much action yesterday, but you might get some today.
It's all in a day's work, buddy. We're just here and busting it out.
All right, Scotty, appreciate the update up top. Very happy, Brayton Lynch, as he should be. And interesting on the idle. They'll have to get that fixed up. Sounds like they do, as we're ready for heat race number 2. It's Johnny Brown from Mauriceville, Texas, and Derek Hagar from Marion, Arkansas, making up your front row. Nick Barger and Buddy Kovoid, row number 2, Madison, South Dakota, and Pen Grove, California, between them. Roy Larkin and Jory Hughes on row 3, Jip Sessoms and Chris Crowder on row number 4, as 8 cars going for 8 times around here in the second heat race. And again, our winners' interviews brought to you by pitstopusa.com.
Big opportunity here for Kofoid. I think really a 4-1 could be really solid for him. Flipped her upside down in the Viroc last night. And like I said at the top of the show, I saw him this morning, early this afternoon, and he had that look in his face like he was determined to go try to win this prelim tonight. I think a lot of expectations put behind him each and every time now. It's only second time in the building, but he's got a lot of expectations. So watch out for Kofoid to lead the charge here.
Well, big results set big expectations. That's
Yeah.
one of the things about being a guy who's racing for a living at this point in time. You come out and win races, you're expected to show up and win races going forward. You don't get to be an underdog anymore that flies under the radar.
Right. Yep. That's part of it. And he, as soon as he stepped into the 67 car, he's performed, at the top level, and I don't think anybody expected anything less. So he's a guy that's been racing, sprint cars for a long time, and every time he gets in a new car, he seems to jump in and win right away. So that's nothing. I don't think anything phases him at this point. Like I said earlier, he's a guy who knows he needs to win and knows he's capable of winning. So he's gonna perform every time. And
the expectation behind that 67 car, having won the championship in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the only goal when you drive the 67 for Keith. You have to win races, and that's it. If you don't win, you're out in a hurry. So Keith always finds the guys that win races, and he hasn't missed in a long time. From Rico to Tanner and Spencer and Buddy now. So he's on it every time.
Front row of Brown and Hagar to start off heat race number 2, and we're underway. Derek Hagar, a guy that has had some midget success in this building. We've seen him in victory interviews before after heat races. Big wheel stand at Kofoid. Going to stick the nose underneath going into 3, but can't make the pass on lap number 1.
Yeah, way to be patient there. Didn't force the issue. Still very early on. He's going to try to size up Hagar. Still tons of bite out of that 92. Just picking up the wheels on the back straightaway. Kofoid outside, inside. Going to make the pass on the inside over the berm, but kind of sticks it in there a little bit too aggressively, and there goes Hagar right back.
But Derek Hagar knows the counterpunch to make when somebody shows him a wheel like that. Hagar right back and into the front, 5 to go. Kofoid trying to go around the outside, but we're still just a little bit narrow, and there's not a lot of room to get up there. It's Hagar roping a wild goat out in front, trying to hold off Buddy Kofoid.
Yeah, I would never count out Hagar. He's a really, really good race car driver, and doesn't race midgets super often, but he's obviously, his car's really tight right now, but he's making it work and keeping Buddy behind him, and, obviously Buddy's really good and just drives right around him there, so we'll see. Buddy probably will drive away here, but see some battles going on further back in the field.
Yep, let's take a peek on backwards. That's Chris Crowder. Crowder in 6th, just getting around Brown for 7th. In front of him, it's Sessoms. That's Larkin in the 3 and Barger in the 4.
Laps continuing to wind down. We're already coming to 1 to go, so Terry Maddox has got the white flag out. That's the battle right there with Larkin creeping into the picture behind Barger for 3rd, but off of 4. Look at that, Buddy Kofoid. Patient, got by Hagar, and checked out to a solid victory by nearly 2.5 seconds over Derek Hagar. So Kofoid wins heat 2, Derek Hagar 2nd, Nick Barger 3rd, Roy Larkin 4th, Jeb Sessoms your top 5. Then it was Crowder, Brown Jr., and Hughes.
115 points from that run for 4th for Buddy Kofoid. Should put him to the top of the scoring scale here early in night number 2 on FloRacing of the Chili Bowl Nationals second prelim night. Up the ramp goes Buddy to talk with one Scotty Cook as heat race number 3 comes down and gets set to go. Kofoid made the best of what he could there. Nice to see him able to go around the outside as the track expands its racing groove. Look at the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam. And hey, our friends at NOS came through for us as we have got...
Oh my goodness,
yes,
look at that.
We have got the announcer's palette of NOS Energy Drink here within the room. So thank you very much.
Oh, you guys are lifesavers. We appreciate you.
The Brian Kapinski announcer booth powered by NOS this week as Scotty Cook is ready with Buddy Kofoid up top.
Hey, thank you, guys. Well, we had an extended conversation before you rolled out of the ramp for your hot laps about the importance of not getting behind the 8 ball. The first hurdle is cleared. Heat win from P4.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Like I said, there's a couple hurdles you got to go through to put yourself in a good starting position to lock in for Saturday, and winning the heat race from wherever you're from is one of them. So it was a little tricky. I didn't know where the leader was going to go at times, and then I was hoping he wouldn't move to the top, and then I finally got clear of him and could check out. And Jared and Bo and Brandon, they did a really good job. Give me a good car and help us get this thing back together.
And at the very least, the nerves are gone now. You can focus on the matter at hand, son.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to catch my breath, but no, it's glad to get the heat race win, and we'll see where that puts us for a qualifier.
All right, Pen Grove, California, Michael Buddy Kofoid making his former seat holder quite proud. How about that, Logan? We'll send it back to you guys.
Appreciate it, Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah, something, obviously, yeah, he's in a great car, but something to notice is a guy like Buddy Kofoid races 100 times a year, races wing sprint cars, races all these different race cars, and he runs an 8-lap heat race at the Chili Bowl, and he's out of breath. So that shows how much this race means and how nervous guys are, even if they race at the highest stage, racing outlaw races and whatnot. They come here, and that's how much this race means to people. And he runs that whole race probably hardly breathing and gripping the wheel tight, and now he could finally breathe a little bit. So yeah, that's something that everyone feels. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, this is a race that probably makes him about as nervous as any other race in the world, and it just shows you how much the Chili Bowl means to people.
Heat number 3 out on the racetrack. The lineup as follows. Big Daddy Chris Wyndham in the 89 for Chad Boat Industries on the pole to Canton, Illinois. The outside, Briggs Danner, Allentown, Pennsylvania is home. Michelle Parson from Abilene, Texas, place I know a little bit about. Inside row number 2, the outside, AJ Bender from San Diego. Steven Snyder, KKM Give Back winner. The inside row number 3, the outside, Brendan Wisely. Then it's Zach Taylor and Young Money, Kyle Larson, two-time defending Chili Bowl champ, coming from the final row. We'll see what he can do, and I think he's taken some notes the last couple races of just how to get to the front.
This will be a good one to watch. This is kind of a sneaky, tough heat race, so this will be interesting. Larson up to 6th.
Yeah, Wisely didn't make the call after his flip in practice.
Just like that, we're green. Wyndham protecting there for taking the lead over Briggs Danner as we got one looped around, and that's Zach Taylor. So we will have a complete restart with Taylor now moving to the back. He started
in the back.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
So that's exactly where
We'll
line him back up.
Good test lap.
Best case scenario for Larson. He got a really, really bad start there. So
Joe's Racing Products replay. Taylor at the back there as Larson kind of got trapped up on the top side. And Larson, a little contact. Not much, but just a little bit.
You can see Kyle knew that he could not mess around with AJ Bender very long up in front of him.
Right. Yeah, Steven Snyder got a pretty good start there and got up to 4th, so he's going to have to do that again to have it shot here to keep the 0-1 behind him.
So we'll try it again as they get the Zach Taylor machine back to the rear of the field.
I don't think we have enough red and white race cars in the back of the field,
right?
guys. Holy cow.
My goodness.
So you're going to be watching the back, I'm sure, because it's going to be a huge point of contention. I'm really curious what Briggs Danner can do with Chris Wyndham. Danner had just a fantastic season running for Gallagher Racing out in the East. Put the 410 in a couple of times and looked very competent as well, and now getting to go play with the midgets, which I don't think he has a midget start at all. He kind of came out of the micro ranks and lower, so... And that's a really good test for him and Wyndham on the front row.
We'll try it one more time as Chris Wyndham launches off of 4. Inside, outside, protects over Danner. Danner settles into second. Steven Snyder Jr. trying to make his way up there on the inside as now to the outside. Kyle Larson will go inside and put the slide job on Snyder Jr. Danner loops it around in turn 2, keeps it going, so we'll stay green, and now he comes to a stop. And they'll flash across the line. It looks like Kyle moved up to 3rd, but we may go back to the last scored lap.
Yeah, I think they're going to give that one back to Snyder. A weird spot to spin out. I wonder if we caught what happened there.
Well, let's kind of watch it with my naked eye here out on the track, and it almost just looked like he overcooked it coming out of 2.
Yep.
Chili Bowl rookie, and again, new to the midget in a car that's been very, very good. We've seen guys like KT, Larry White out of that camp, etc., make some big runs, so we know he's got the power. Now it's just going to be how quick can you crest that learning curve as a rookie?
Yeah, obviously a good car with Shawn Michael on the wrenches, and I believe Chase Johnson made the feature, and he was not letting Wyndham get too far away from it at all, actually. So, yeah, it looks like he just got above it and just turned around on him.
Got lucky that he didn't get cleaned out by
right
anybody
down
on
the
the
track.
way through.
He had just a big enough gap behind him to not get hit, but yeah, now A.J. Bender's still hanging in there in second, so pretty wild.
Wow.
But yeah, Briggs Danner
This will change things here single file, so we'll see what lane change A.J. Bender does as Wyndham gets on the gas and will quickly squirt away from the rest of the field to the top side. Snyder Jr. to the bottom. Larson has to lock it up just a little bit. He goes top side around Snyder. That's the battle for the 4th spot. We go on board with the drone, one of the coolest shots here at the Chili Bowl, as there's Larson in the 01, threading the needle. 2-for-1 special gets the outside of Bender, and now Larson sets his sights in second, trying to track down Big Daddy.
That's how good Kyle Larson is. There wasn't a lane there. He just made one. Coming through, guys, and he did it clean.
And Snyder Jr. threw it in there as well on Bender. It's go time as we're now going to be 4 laps to go. As you look at Zach Taylor, early spin, going to try to get under Bender here for the 4th spot.
Bender doing a good job holding his own. He's got some guys that might have a little more recognition that have been coming up behind him, but he's not making it easy for him as you get another look at Wyndham coming into the 2-to-go signal this time by.
Yep, double popsicle sticks in the air, a 1.7 second lead, 8-second lead for your leader as Larson not really able to track down Wyndham. Both guys running the top side as we come to 1 lap to go. The white flag is in the air. Big battles in the backside of the field. But nobody is touching Chris Wyndham as through 3 and 4, the CB Industries car, number 89, is going to win heat number 3, as Larson comes home in second from a 6th place starting spot. Then Steven Snyder Jr., A.J. Bender, and Briggs Danner round out the top 5. Zach Taylor, Michelle Parson, and Brandon Wisely round out the field. So Wyndham wins from the pole, Larson from 6th to 2nd.
Worth 113 points for Larson, 100 points for Wyndham in the exchange. 5th to 3rd should be good enough to make a qualifier for Snyder, as that'll give him 96 going forward. We get ready for heat race number 4. Entertaining heat there, lots going on, and Chris Wyndham did what he had to do off the pole. Had to be very excited not to see Danner following him around there for a couple of laps. That let him get out and breathe a bit.
That just shows you the point differential. Kofoid going 4-1, 115. Larson 6 to 2nd, 113. So the points there really, really, really tight as we go back up to the top of the ramp with Scotty Cook.
Hey, thank you guys. Did what he had to do from the pole, and it was not a walk in the park, but it sure looked that way. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. One of the downfalls about this race is that it's kind of luck of the draw for the first heat, and we drew the pole, so unfortunately no passing points for us, but like you said, did what we had to do and won there, and we'll go out in the qualifier and try to win again.
Your assessment of the racetrack you used?
Oh, I think the track's really good right now. It's very top dependent right now, but it's fast, and I think once the top widens out and they can work the bottom a little bit, I think it'll be racy later on.
All right, man. Thanks for your time. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
All right, it's Big Daddy Chris Wyndham out of Canton, Illinois, picking up heat race number, what was that, guys? Number 4, I do believe.
Number 3.
Number 3, get ahead of yourself and making the fine folks in our Synergy drink happy like he's supposed to do. Back to you.
Well, we have got work going on in the racetrack as they've brought the equipment out. And this is not small work, Chris.
No.
They're making a very slow lap with the Lele going around the top and already kind of chopping the top up, Logan. What do you think they're seeing?
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't really see it building a cushion at all, to be honest. But that's normally kind of what they do to try to get it to widen out early in the night. Is to till that cushion up and let the car pack it a little bit and then let the cars push it out. Sometimes if the cushion gets too solid, it just stops and then it doesn't move at all throughout the night and you just it just gets bigger and bigger. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really see it building any ledges, but maybe they're just trying to stay ahead of the racetrack and not get behind like they did for a minute there yesterday and kind of lost it. But yeah, it just kind of seems like to me that's what they're trying to do. We'll see if they do anything to the bottom or if they're just going to keep working the top and letting the cars push it out wider.
So from the Buzzy Racing speed shot that we see here, what's the practical application to be here on this next heat race? I mean, it looks, as is right now, narrow out there, but you think that's going to get a little bit wider and racier here for this heat?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime they work it kind of they'll probably rip around the top here for a heat or two, and then once it gets to the point where it slows down or gets too long around, then they'll kind of go back down and run the bottom. You can still see there's a whole car width of moisture down on the bottom, but you just have to slow down so much to get down there. And with the top being so low, you don't really have to slow down, and it's not as far around as it could be. So yeah, it's going to take a few races for the top to get wide enough to where the bottom comes back into play. At least for the guys up front, you might be able to pass a guy down there, pass a slower car down there, but to pass the leader, you're going to probably have to throw a slide job.
If you're Sam Haverteep Jr., you're probably a pretty happy camper right now, aren't you?
Yes, you are, except that Thomas Meserol starts 6th, and he goes by the motto, slide or die.
That's right. Sam Haverteep Jr. is on the pole of this heat race with Will Armitage next to him in the 97A. Matt Westfall and Jesse Little make up row number 2. It's Colton Hardy and T. Mez. Thomas Meserol in row 3. David Gasper and Caden Brown, who was the fastest car in practice tonight, in row number 4. So, yeah, Sam might be happy starting on the pole and having a path around the bottom, but there's some guys that are going to be taking every inch of this racetrack to get forward in behind them in some very, very fast race cars.
Yeah, and it's kind of been the key here is for those guys like Meserol toward the back is how quickly can you get away from some of those cars in front of you. We saw Larson have some trouble on the initial start of his heat race. Looking back at Jonathan Beeson, didn't pass a car for nearly almost 2 laps. So the key now here is just watching what those guys do on the start and how quickly can they pick off 1 or 2, set themselves up so they're not trying to chase down somebody who's over a second ahead.
Good look at the fans in the stands watching on here on our second night of the broadcast. Remind you guys that we do want to interact with you on Twitter and appreciate everybody that's checking in.
Yeah, we've had a ton. Mandy Fisher, mom of Cliff, sent us a photo of her son with a Buddy Kofoid shirt on, so I'm sure he was happy with that heat race win. We had Ashley Allenson Photography editing Night 1 photos while watching Night 2, so we appreciate you. Gordy Gunker is checking in as well. We had Nick Yeoman, my buddy. He was checking in.
I don't know that we can shout out Gordy because he's not here.
I told Gordy he doesn't deserve one.
Yeah.
Well.
And Cliff's not wearing his Logan Seavey shirt tonight.
He's probably saving it for Friday.
All right, yeah. Give you the good juju on that one. Well, look at the cars that have made their way onto the racetrack. Of course, Timez in the familiar brightly colored 7. Always a fun guy to watch. Rarely do you ever see a boring Timez race.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen one.
If he can't be fast, he's spectacular.
That's right. Oh, careful. Sam Haverteep Jr. trying to get up to the front, nearly got clipped.
And Haverteep's not going to have an easy run of this. I mean, Matt Westfall has just been awesome out in Ohio. The few times that he branches out, he's won heat races here at the Chili Bowl before. That's a good race car driver sitting there in case Sam bungles up on the bottom of this.
This Jesse Little's first midget start? I would imagine so.
That sounds right.
Guy that you should be familiar with, a North Carolina kid.
Yep.
As the lights are out and we go green, that's got to be the start that Haverteep was looking for as he gets to the cushion of 1 and 2. Westfall trying to lead the pack in, coming in behind him. And from down low, Colton Hardy already making a big move. From 5th to 2nd, he's bringing Timez with him. Meserol down low, hunting Hardy for the runner-up position early here in this heat race.
Yeah, a lot better start for Timez coming from the back, but not going to be easy to get around the Hardy machine as Hardy changes his lane just a little bit. Timez trapped on the bottom.
Thomas got a fast race car. He's just going to have to figure out how he wants to attack Hardy, as they're really on that low cushion right now, trying to work their way forward. Brown from 8th is up into 5th, and where Meserol's losing ground is on the exit of 2 as he tries to get set up for 3. There's Brown in the 57, one of the Matt Woods stable of race cars coming in on Westfall, looking to move forward a position. He's a car length back of him going through the 3rd and 4th corner. Halfway, Meserol dispatches Hardy. Does he have time to run down and catch Haferteep? Haferteep has some distance between him as Meserol gets the front end flying. There's Brown getting past Westfall for 4th. Definitely some drivers moving in this heat race.
Yeah, he's figured something out here. Laps winding down, though. White flag already out for your leader, Sam Haferteep Jr. Has a little bit of trouble there for a little, but through 3 and 4. Team has caught him just a little bit too late, though, as Sam Haferteep Jr. gets the win. Heat race number 4. Thomas Meserol from 6th to 2nd. Second driver that's done that. And Caden Brown finishes 4th after starting in the 8th position.
So almost an exact replay of your top 3 finishers from last one. Your winner starts the pole. That's a 100-pointer. Larson was 6, went 2nd in the last one. Meserol 6, went 2nd in this one. That's 113. And then Hardy 5th to 3rd with a mid-90s point run. So all 3 of them are going to be qualifier bound. 8th to 4th for Caden Brown is going to be worth make it 99 points. So Brown just made a qualifier as well and gave himself a shot for a pretty decent A-main start, depending on how his qualifier goes.
Yeah.
Chili Bowl Nationals guys did tweet, we do have a new track record here this year. It was set by Buddy Kofoid officially because it happened during a race in heat race number 2, 10.751. So an official new track record here in this building. So something to keep track of. I know we were close. A lot of them broken during hot laps. But with that being said, Scotty Cook is back up at the top of the ramp with Sam Haferteep Jr.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Not used to seeing him in a black and blue and yellow race car, but that dog will hunt. Looked real good. Picked up heat race number 4, buddy. How about that?
Yeah, we're still really tight. Fought it in hot laps, and we're just going to make a couple changes when we get back. We're too tuned up for later in the night. So we'll make a couple changes, and we'll get a little bit better for the qualifier.
What were your thoughts on the ramp when you noticed them doing a little rip on the top before you got to the bottom of the ramp on the track?
It probably needed it. The curb's getting kind of choppy up there, so it's probably going to make the track a lot wider, be a lot racier for the fans.
All right, buddy. Thanks for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. He's a brand new papa, and he just made Mr. Miles Hill and the fine folks of cigarport.ca tickled pink. Sunnyvale Sam picks up heat race number 4, guys. Back to you.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much. As heat race 5 is on the track.